Smart Training Concepts, Episode 2.
Welcome to the Smart Training Concepts Podcast, where training hard now to make your future bright is not just a fad. And now your host, who can't wait until college football season starts back, Coach Tony Porter.
Hey guys, what's up? Thank you for stopping by Smart Training Concepts Podcast, Episode 2. This is part 2 of the off-season training program for your football workout plan. It's been a crazy week in sports. First of all, congratulations to the New England Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons for making it to the Super Bowl. But congratulations to the New England Patriots for winning the Super Bowl in what some people call dramatic comeback fashion. Before we jump into the off-season training podcast, I just want to say you can never count out a good system, which all of this plays into a lot of things that we do. You can never count out a good system. You can never rest on your morals. If you give a coach like Belichick and Brady that much time to adjust over 2 quarters and halftime, this is what happens. So once again, congratulations to the New England Patriots for winning yet another Super Bowl. That's Brady's 5th in 7 tries. So, and you say Brady because he's the flagship, the front runner of that program up there. So you have to say Belichick, you have to say Brady, you have to say all of that. So with that being said, today's podcast we're going to discuss the final parts of off-season training, workout planning, and programming. Last week we discussed the stability and endurance phase. This week we're going to finish out with the last 4, which is strength and endurance, muscle building, maximum strength training, and last but not least, power training. Yes, there is a difference in every one of them. Yes, it's broken down into certain aspects that help athletes reach their goal, not faster, but smarter. If you're going to train, let's train smarter with smart training. So we're going to jump right into it. You know, the strength and endurance phase is phase 2. You know, the goal is to continue building a foundation. But we add more strength exercises into this program to advance for the advanced movements. When we start adding those, we do a lot of supersets. You know, you might jump on the bench to do a bench press, and when you come off of that bench, it's like you do a roundabout number of, let's say, 4 to 8 reps. Okay, I think it's 75% of your max weight. So you're doing that. As soon as you get finished, instead of taking a rest, you go straight and do med bar push-ups. What we're doing is we're building, you know, we're building up strength. We're building up core strength, okay? So the overview is we started adding supersets for this portion of the program. The strength movements followed by stabilization exercises. The sets and weights and reps are moderate. I mean, we're just challenging the athlete to reach their goal, to get better, make those major changes. And you know when we jump into those, we generally try to have once again we break them down into groups, because even on these days you still have to work in different groups, because football is probably one of the largest sports. And with football being one of the largest sports, you have 50 to 75, almost to 100. Some teams have 100 athletes. What we want to do is we want to make sure we break that up. So, on the strength and endurance phases, it's the same as in the beginning, 3 days a week. So we generally try to go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Our reps, you know, we decrease them. Sets is 2 to 4, reps is 8 to 12. Our percent of max is 70 to 80%, and we increase 3 to 5 pounds per week on each exercise. So basically, you know, the workout doesn't change dramatically. It's the reps and the sets that's what's changing. Um, and like I said, we challenge our kids each week, each period. And the duration for this, I meant to tell you that the duration for this phase is we try to keep it the same because we're trying to lead directly um, into like summer workouts. So the duration is almost the same. We take 3 weeks to get through the program. 3 weeks is a great time frame for you to develop your strength and endurance because you're still trying to get the body up to being able to lift, and you're starting to get ready to basically you're starting to get ready to get into spring practice by this time. This is probably the roundabout. If you started in January, uh, you did 3 weeks, took a week. We jumped into February, it's 3 weeks, take a week. And uh, March and April is springtime in some states with spring practice. So March, April, and May. I know it is in Kentucky. So you starting to get your foundation set as far as on the field. But, winning ball games is won in the weight room, off-season training. So it goes back to it's repetition, repetition. It's all it is. It's constant reps. You rep on the field, you rep on the court, uh, but it's just reps, reps, reps. And so after the second cycle of 3 weeks, you jump into another cycle, and that's it's hypertherapy training, and that's just we're just building. Now we're building muscle. So this is phase 3. I mean, this is basically the same. Only this time we're adding. The sets go down 3 to 5. You want to push yourself, but you don't want to injure yourself. Injury is very key. We don't want to get no injuries. Injury prevention. I'm sorry. Injury prevention is very key. We don't want no injuries to happen. The reps is 6 to 10, but we're at 75 to 85%. You notice each cycle, your percentage goes up. It increases, and now uh, now we're trying to get 3 to 5 workouts, 3 to 5 times a week in those workouts. So we increase the frequency of how we train, and uh, we're still in that phase of we're doing basically we're just hitting it. We're barbells or dumbbell bench presses. The workouts don't change. It's just the frequency of it changes. The sets change, the reps change, and then we add in weight, to it. It's 3 to 5 pounds. So we're just adding on and just gradually, gradually, gradually trying to get to that point where we can reach maximum strength power. and that goes a long way down the line. So, um, you know, when you're in this phase, it's blood, sweat, and tears time because now uh, we're adding on certain days we're starting to add explosive training and more explosive training like barbell snatches, plate corkscrews, uh, dumbbell dumbbell planks. Uh, where we're alternating, dumbbell planks and box jumps, things like that. Just we're just basically trying to get you ready to get onto the field because when summer hits, we'll get in season training, but we like to we still lift, we still have to lift, but we cut back on uh, the days because we're focused on football activities only. And I tell you the change that we seen last year with our kids was very tremendous because the first year, like I said, we didn't we didn't have that we didn't have that discipline in the weight room. Uh, it gave us 1 year to change their mind frame, their mindset, and that discipline uh, really panned out and really did a great job for us because we did a whole 360. We turned around an entire season in 1 year, and it was really great. And so now we're into the maximum strength phase, and once again, the exercises do not change. So don't go trying to add a ton of different exercises. You want to keep the body familiar because listen, we're not building bodybuilders on the football field. We are building an athlete. We are building this is a sports specific training. This is not, and I repeat, this is not a bodybuilding workout. This is not a bodybuilding off-season program. This is a sports-specific program, and we're discussing football right now because we're in that season of off-season. Basketball is going on. If you're watching TV, the NCAA, NBA, basketball is going on. Baseball is about to start. So if you really paying attention to how this thing is going, football has its off-season. It starts in January, works its way through March and April. Uh, Once you get into April, that's when you're starting to get into the in-season training. Now, here in Kentucky, June you have a dead period. You can't deal with you can't deal with the kids. You can't do none of that. In July you come back, and that's in season. That's the true in season. So, be it the fact that that's the true in season, now you're getting ready. Your program should be implemented. Your practices should start to get intense, and all of that good stuff should be coming. And you should be deciding how well, as a coach, you want to have a winning season. You start focusing. You're watching film. You're doing this. You're doing that. Be you. Don't be nobody else. Be you. So now we're in the maximum strength training. And maximum strength training is quite simple. Once again, I'm going to say it again. It's repetitive. If you notice, it's repetitive then, it's repetitive now. But we decreased the reps by 2 a week. So now we're at 1 to 5. Notice everything starts going down. In phase 3, we was at 4 to 6. Now we're at 1 to 5. The sets go up. Notice it's balancing out. The more reps, the more sets we do, the less reps we do. And now we're at the 85 to 100%. In this phase, it's the same thing, man. It's 3 to 4 times a week, 3 to 4 times in a weekly span. So we're still in that 3-week period rest, 3-week period rest, 3-week period rest. And by the time you get to this phase, you're really starting to add in a lot of football movements. We start adding in more core and reactive movements. Like basically, what I like to do is I like to add in depth jump to high box, which I want my kids to understand. We're triggering, we're loading up to explode up, and uh, that's great for when they start to get into combines because you got to remember during February through really June is camp and combine for a lot of kids. A lot of kids who are really trying to get their names into these college coaches' systems and things like that. There are little files that they evaluate players from all over the world. This is that time. And so a lot of the stuff that we're doing at T5 Sports Performance is we're getting kids, high school kids, ready to hit the camp circuit. Uh, we love dealing with the um, National Underclassmen Sports Camp and Combine. Last year I had 5 representatives from T5 go there. I had a blue chipper, offensive lineman. He went up to Ohio for the blue chip camp. I had 2 go to the Nike Open. I had 2 that went and played this past December, right after Christmas. They went down to Atlanta and played in the National Underclassmen All-Star Game, and I have 2 that's on their way to uh, Texas to play in the uh, World All-Star Championship game. All-Star game. I'm sorry, All-Star game. So T5 is we're small. we're real small, and but we're well educated and very well prepared in getting our athletes prepared to play for certain coaches. Um, I'm just proud of my guys. I'm proud of the team that is being put together. It's only 3 of us, and we are working extremely hard, uh, getting to these guys to understand that it's not just about being on the playing field, but you have to do work inside the classroom as well as putting in work off season into the weight room. We have to discuss the nutrition part of it, injury prevention, pre and post workout, proper resting after a workout, proper resting during a workout. All of these things play into smart training concepts, the T5 way. Uh, we're not looking for major numbers. We're not looking for um, that that major big time athlete. We want to develop those kids. We want those kids who the other people just don't want. I don't want you. I'll take you. Come on. Man, I'm gonna go after this guy. I'm gonna go after those 2. That's just smart training concepts. We want to develop it. If I can pick out the elite athlete and train him, then what good am I doing? And that's how we feel about when we design these programs. Each program that we try to design is based off of what the athlete's need is. It's not based off what I want, it's off the athlete's need. So, really, 4 and 5 phases, uh, they're basically the same. And by this time, the season's about to kick off, so we start dialing back the workouts. And when we start dialing back the workouts, it's not that we're taking away certain things. It's we just don't lift as much. We still lift. We just don't. I try not to get them to lift as much. Now, once they get with their high school coaches, that's different. But I try to keep in tune with them and like, hey, what'd you do today? And then they tell me. So I design 3 or 4 different plans that go along with what they do that week. Basically, it's like if they come to see me for their speed and agility, then no lifting is involved. But if they didn't do no lifting, well, we might get some maintenance work in. But by this time, we're working on footwork. So, I mean, that's basically what an off-season program is. And um, Most people get in there and they just want to throw plates on the bar and just go to work. You have to really decide how you want to develop. Like your offensive lineman, you should have a goal for them. You should have a goal for your skill guys. You should have a goal for each skill guy and each lineman. And when you hit that weight room, that should be priority number one. As a coach, that's priority number one. My first priority is to get with the head coach to see what he wants. If we're on the same page, we're having a great season. But if he wants to tell me something different, then hey, it's my job to implement what he's asking for. But it's also my job to let him know you're building an athlete and not a bodybuilder. So uh, that's basically it for the off-season training uh, workout programs. Uh, the best thing I can tell you is when you implement a training program is just research. Make sure you know what each athlete needs. You have to evaluate to figure out what each athlete has. Evaluate strength and weaknesses, and go from there. I mean, that's just basic. That's just basic. You know, strength training 101. You know, don't go in here thinking that you the world. Listen, I'm a strength trainer. I'm a linebackers coach. I'm a D-line coach, but I'm still learning. I'm very humble to say that I'm still learning, and I have no problem saying that I Coach Porter uh, at T5 Sports Performance will reach out and study different techniques, but I like to think outside the box. So, like for instance, I give you a for instance, and then I'm gonna let you guys go because I know you want to get into your workouts today. Me personally, I'm headed to CrossFit. And we're going to discuss CrossFit with training just as well because some of the T5 athletes are doing CrossFit, and guess what? They love it. So, at the end of the day, some of the training methods go back to old school ways. Like you used to see, if you remember or you old enough, you used to hear of Herschel Walker running with a rope around his waist with a tire. Well, they used to help build legs. Well, what I did was came across a video on YouTube where this guy took a tire and he basically built his own sled out of a tire. He took a 2x6, drilled holes in the tire. He went to Rogue Fitness, ordered the rings, gymnast rings, and attached them to the eye bolts. Took the 2x6 and put the 2x6 inside of the tire. He cut it to where it would fit and wouldn't slide, but he also drilled a nice hole and put a peg or a pole through there so he could add weight. So what I did is I did the same thing, and basically what it is I can do multiple exercises of strength training and endurance training with my tire. So, like I said, I'm not gonna hold you. It's great that for you to indulge in strength training, but please, 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 when you're indulging in strength training, train smart. Use smart training concepts. Do not go out here and just listen. We don't want nobody injured. That's the last thing we want anybody to do. So, with that being said, thank you for stopping by today. T5 Sports Performance would love to hear from you. Smart Training Concepts blog is up and running. It's been up and running. We just want to say if you haven't stopped by and subscribed to the blog, please do. Follow us on Facebook at T5 Sports Performance. Also, catch us on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at T5 Sports P. And keep up with our Instagram page as T5 underscore sports. We're on Instagram, IG. Uh, I got a lot of young players that are making moves. I want to say a big what's up to Deshaun Fenwick. He's down in Florida. One of the guys I used to train, he moved to Florida, and he's doing big things down there at I think it's Brayton High School in Florida, and that's about it. Like I said, thank y'all for stopping by today at T5 Sports Performance Smart Training Concepts Podcast. Enjoy y'all's day. Peace.